Oh, good.
Okay, so as I said, a quick look at the TM6 tonight. So Fiona, I am assuming that you don't have a Thermomix at all yet. Is that right, Jo?
No, she has the 31.
Oh, she has the TM31. Sorry, I should have known that. Sorry, Jo, that's my mistake. Okay, so you've got the TM31. Excellent. So tonight we're looking at the TM6. I will go through some of the differences because, of course, at the moment we do have, well, very shortly we will have the TM31 trade up. So there's probably a lot of people that are going to be watching the recording that are interested in the differences of the two as well. And we've just got someone else to add into the mix there. Wes? Excellent, rightio. So before we get started, I will, as always, let you know about what is included. Hello, Olivia. Welcome, and please make sure you chuck questions in the chat as we go to Olivia. What's included, Wes? Thank you, mate. So $2,579 is the outlay for a Thermomix. We've got lots of payment options, and I will go through those at the end of the demo. At the moment, as I alluded to earlier, we do have a couple of special offers. So again, starting tomorrow, so we're really ahead of the game at the moment, but starting tomorrow, we do have the TM31 trade-in, where you are able to trade in your TM31 on a brand new TM6. You save yourself $250, but you also get yourself a free second bowl blade and lid worth $395. So quite a good trade-in. We're really excited about that, but it's only for 20 days. So make sure that you jump on that if that is something that interests you. And for anyone that's just looking at a Thermomix without having a TM31 before, we do have the second bowl blade and lid offer on for you as well, but it's just a $49 buy-in for you to be able to get a second bowl blade and lid with your brand new Thermomix. So without further ado, Wesley will come back. Thanks, mate. So I have told the Thermomix what we are going to make in our little demo tonight, and that has basically popped it over into my Thermomix for me. But my Thermomix is very, very smart. It connects to COOKIDOO every time I turn it on, and it is so that COOKIDOO and all of the recipes that have been made for the TM6 are searchable on the screen of the Thermomix. So if I slide across, this actually has a little search bar. I don't know if you can see that, and I don't have my other camera hooked up tonight, but it actually has a search bar there where I could actually type in teriyaki chicken or whatever I wanted to make, and I could search it that way. However, I am going to go into another way. But if you're thinking about the functions of your TM31, your time, temperature, speed is still available on your TM6. So anything that you could cook in your TM31, you can do equal or better in your TM6, because you still have the option to cook, and we call that manual cooking. So with just pressing the time, talking to the time, pressing the temperature, finding the temperature, and then obviously starting with your speed, and that locks your arms in and it starts cooking. Okay, so that's how we do manual cooking in the Thermomix. Now, also with the TM6, we've got another screen. So if you kind of think we've got three screens, so this is your middle one, and then if you slide the other way, we've got all of the modes of the TM6. Now, I won't bore you by going through all of them because there are so many that I could probably stand here for like an hour and go through what I love about all of them. But if you're thinking of modes and functions like your scales, your turbo, try to think of the dough mode. I think that's probably the only ones that the TM31 had. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jo. But we now, is that about right, Jo?
Yeah, turbo dough scales.
Yeah. So all of that's in there. But we've actually got some other really cool features and functions in our TM6 now. So we've got a whole page, scroll down, we've got a whole page of different functions. So we've got egg boil mode. We've got the pre-clean, so you can actually pop it on and it can start washing the bowl itself. We've got the kettle mode. What else? We've got the chop mode, where you can actually just go in there and tell it what fruit or vegetable or whatever you've got, and it will actually let you know what speed and all that you could chop that up if you were in a recipe, say. What else? Fermentation. We've got the rice cooker mode. We've got the slow cooker mode. Thank you, Wes. Wes has just yelled in with sous vide because sous vide mode is his favourite. So we cannot forget sous vide mode. And then we've got thicken. So, you know, if you're making like a sauce or something like that and you weren't in a recipe, that's where you would go there. So some of your manual things, but also a lot of the COOKIDOO recipes have actually called for that mode, and then that is automatically in the recipe as well. So like I said, I could probably talk for about an hour just about the modes, but let's get into some cooking. So like I said before, I've already told it what we're having, so I'm just going to go into here and I'm going to press into my week. Now, what my week is it is where I have gone into COOKIDOO, which is our recipe platform, and I have made a meal plan of what we're having for dinner each night. And that obviously helps you with meal planning, but it also then can help you order your groceries and, you know, do all of that kind of stuff as well. So we'll cover that a little bit later as well. So I'm going into my week, clicking on chicken teriyaki, the recipe comes up, and if you want to get everything out of the pantry and get all your ingredients ready, you can just scroll down and you can have a look at what the recipe says that you need. So everything that is in the recipe book would be on here. So you notice I haven't had to get my basic cookbook out to flick through to find the recipe. It's all just on here. I flick through, get all my ingredients ready, have a look at the, you know, the utensils I might need, or the hints and tips, anything that would be at the bottom of a recipe. It's all in there, all the nutrition information, if that's of interest to you, tips, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's all in there. And then you can just press start cooking. And it is just follow the steps. Okay, so there's no trick to being able to cook in a Thermomix, as you probably know, having the TM31. But we're now just following our nose. I've taken the lid off, which has now put me at a minus with my scales. You'll be au fait with being able to hit the tear button, and we'll just start cooking. So tonight I'm doing the chicken teriyaki, like I said before, and it's a really quick weekday winner. Just chuck it all in, and it uses our high heat mode, which this Thermomix gets up to 160, 180 degrees. So it actually is a lot hotter than the last Thermomix model as well. So I've put in some olive oil, I've weighed that in, the scales have automatically come up because I need the scales. And I'm just going to pop in it's asking for chicken, but I'm popping in some pork because that's the kind of day I've had. But that's okay, a little bit of pork, a little bit of chicken, it's not going to matter. Now, as you can see there, I've hit next. It's told me to pop the lid on. It wants the splatter guard, which is when we're on high heat. We have that one on instead of our MC. And it's now going to do 5 minutes on high heat. Now, I will put the microphone there in about 30 seconds because this will be sizzling in 30 seconds time. So it gets really hot really quickly. That chicken that is actually pork, thank you Wes, that pork will be cooked in 5 minutes in there, okay? So of course we know why we love the Thermomix. This is hands-free cooking, so I don't have to stand around in the kitchen waiting for this. As you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that. Hopefully you can hear that. That is sizzling already. Can you hear that, Jo?
Yes, can you hear that?
Excellent, great. That's probably the most exciting thing. When we first got the TM6, I think that was probably the most exciting thing. When we heard that sizzle 30 seconds in, we were all like, oh wow, this is game changer. So yeah, that's exciting. We're now sizzling that pork in there. Of course, if you're at home and you're cooking, you could now prep your other ingredients. So I've just chopped some carrot into, what are they, julienne? Slices, thanks Wes. Carrot sticks. I've got a bit of broccoli there. Like I said before, this was just whatever I had. It's just gonna go in on this recipe. Chopped up a little bit of an eschalot, got a bit of ginger there, peeled a couple of garlic cloves, and we're prepped. So you can easily do that in your 5 minutes that your Thermomix is cooking. wrangle the child or do whatever we have to do in 5 minutes. So a quick load of washing or something like that as well. So don't need to be at the Thermomix, which saves you time, and you know, don't have to be standing at the stove stirring it or hoping that you don't burn it or anything like that. Now, please pop in the chat if you do have any questions at all. We would love to answer any questions that you might have along the way. Now, I guess when I was telling you about the special offer, the second bowl blade and lid, which we say it so casually, second bowl blade and lid, people don't actually know what we're talking about. When I'm talking about a second bowl blade and lid, I've got, say, my chicken and everything cooking in here, and say I want to make a dessert tonight before I wash up my bowl, I will actually have a whole second unit that when that one comes off, I can pop this one on and I can make a custard or whatever I'm going to make for dessert in there. Joe, I've got custard on my mind from the other night when Ali made custard for us. And she just said to me just then, I'm just going to make some custard upstairs. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
You need to tell everyone how old this young girl is that's making custard.
Unsupervised, the 10-year-old is making custard upstairs. Yes.
Oh, good. That's safe.
And it's delicious, isn't it, Joe? Joe had some on Monday night.
I did.
But, you know, like, I know custard is probably not everybody's cup of tea. I actually had never eaten custard before I got a Thermomix. And custard was actually one of the things that I had at my very first demo that pretty well sold me on Thermomix, because I just never tasted anything like it, because my mum had always either made it with that terrible powder or bought, you know, the long life stuff. So it was unlike anything I'd ever had. And it was so good, and I just kept thinking about how good the custard was. And yes, we've been very naughty and had a little bit of custard of a night time the last few nights. So recently, yes, thanks, Wes. Now, what has that person said to me, Wes? Because I just seen a thing come up there.
Olivia's asked you, how is your chocolate milkshake?
Oh, yes, Olivia. It looks so good. So it's funny because I said to Ali, no custard tonight, because we had custard so many nights in a row. So she decided that she would make us chocolate milkshake, and I'd actually made some homemade ice cream, and it was just the last of it in the container. So I thought, oh, well, you can use that up. Plus we had plenty of milk, and she had some chocolate topping, and anyway, so Ali made chocolate milkshakes for everybody, and she worked out, you know how they do in the cafe and they like line the glass with the chocolate topping? She figured out how to do that. I don't know how she figured that out, but and wow. So we all had these chocolate milks with this chocolate topping. It looked very professional. She did very well. So
2 books, Ali and Wes.
Well, actually,
Molly.
Wes, no, Molly doesn't do any cooking. So now my Thermomix is dinging, so I've got to come back to it now. Molly doesn't do any cooking at all. And I was told today that's because I haven't shown her how to use the Thermomix. So she needs to get herself a better Thermomix consultant, because she doesn't know how to use her Thermomix. But Wes and Ali are definitely my little budding chefs, for sure. So look at this. This is my pork, completely cooked, which blows my mind in 5 minutes, but it's also not dried out. It's been just cooking in there. A little bit of juice has come out, and the oil that I had in there. I'm actually using the tongs so that I can grab that out. The recipe tells you this. This is not because I know how to cook. I'm just following the recipe, but you actually grab it out of its little bit of juice, and you leave that little bit of juice in there. You can't quite see that.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I don't want to pour it out. We've been there, haven't we, Joe? So I don't want to put the juice in there. I just want to pop the pork in there. I'm going to leave my juice in there. Like I said, it tells me all this on the screen, and because I'm going to go next, and I'm going to make sure I give this a scrape, make sure there's nothing on the bottom, which there isn't. Great. And then I'm going to go on to my next step, which is popping in my eschalot.
And I said stir fry, yeah?
stir fry. Yeah, well, it's a Thermomix stir fry. So I've got my echalot in there. I've got way more carrots than it asks for, but I skipped past capsicum because I didn't have any capsicum. So that's what I'm kind of just skipping past and putting in whatever I had. So you definitely can do that as well. You're in control when you're cooking in the Thermomix. It's guided cooking. It's not set in stone cooking, okay? A little bit of olive oil. And putting our splash guard on again. Oh, and I've just splashed myself in the face with the splash guard.
Oh. That wasn't too hot.
There we go. And now our veggies are in there, and again we're going to do high heat, so that little bit of juice that's in there, that's going to start steaming those veggies as well for us as well. I literally just splashed myself with that, all of that condensation. But anyway, it's all good. Yes, rightio. So Wesley, what we will do is we'll tell everyone a little bit about COOKIDOO, because I started telling you about COOKIDOO before, but then I thought, I better show you because it's a lot easier to understand when you can see it. So COOKIDOO is our platform for all of our recipes. So if you think Netflix for recipes, this is your one-stop shop for all of your Thermomix recipes that have been made for the TM6, and even some that you make yourself if you want to do that as well. So if you just go to the next one for me, mate. Thank you. Within COOKIDOO, and you can search by the category of what you're looking for, or what your favourite things are, or what are popular with other people. There's also suggestions for you as well, or you might be looking, like via, a way of eating or something like that. There's lots of different ways to search and find recipes. Probably one of the things when we had our TM31 is there weren't a lot of recipes, because we got that one cookbook and we kind of stuck to that because we didn't have very much variety of recipes. Now we've got more recipes literally than you can poke a stick at. So go to the next one for me, mate. Thank you. When I was talking about meal planning, this is what it looks like on a computer screen. So you've actually got your recipes in each of the days. From there, you can make a shopping list, and then from there you can either send yourself the shopping list, print it out, or you can click to online shop and connect to Woolworths and do like a click and collect or a home delivery of your groceries. So that is very, very helpful and saves you a lot of money in the long run of not walking around Woolworths aimlessly, chucking the Tim Tams in and whatever else is on special as you're going around. And we also have an app for COOKIDOO as well. So if you're not super organised and you haven't done your meal plan, you can actually go to Woolworths and you can be halfway around and see, chicken's on special, and you can type in chicken to COOKIDOO and all the chicken recipes will come up. So it's like taking all of the cookbooks that you own to Woolies so that you know what you need for each recipe. And then, as I said before, COOKIDOO 3.0 is where you can actually add your own recipes to COOKIDOO. So you can either modify ones that are already in there to put your own touch on. So hypothetically, if I loved this teriyaki chicken tonight with pork, no capsicum and no snow peas, I could actually edit this recipe, replace it with the pork, keep the method, take the snow peas and the capsicum out and make my own pork stir fry, for instance, okay? And then I could pop that in my meal plan and have it in there saved just for my use. Or if you've got, like I've got my scone recipe in there, which was a family recipe that we've converted to Thermomix, you can actually start from scratch and add your whole recipe in there. So that one is pretty cool too. Is there another COOKIDOO slide, Wes? Oh, yes, thank you. If you are interested in learning more about COOKIDOO, and I don't actually know when the day is, Joe, because it was today our COOKIDOO lesson. So it's a Wednesday next month. I'm just not sure which Wednesday, but every Wednesday, one Wednesday a month, not every Wednesday. One Wednesday a month we do a free COOKIDOO lesson just for helping you get started with COOKIDOO, or if you're a regular COOKIDOO user, you can come and learn a little bit more about how to convert recipes, do meal planning, all that kind of stuff, because it is a whole, it's a whole thing just in itself, COOKIDOO.
So the next one is April the 3rd, the first Wednesday.
Oh, the first Wednesday of April. Excellent. Oh yeah, of course it is, because it is always the first Wednesday actually, because that's what we did. So there you go. You've got a little while to wait till you get us on COOKIDOO, but there are other sessions, so talk to your consultant if you really desperately want to go to a COOKIDOO session as well. But they're very valuable, and the thing I love most about the COOKIDOO lesson is at the end everybody shares their favourite COOKIDOO recipe, and there's just something about someone else suggesting a recipe or telling you it's good, you should try this, that really helps. I don't know, I really like when other people suggest things I should try. And sometimes, like if there's 20 people on the lesson, you'll have 20 recipes to try, and it keeps you going for ages. So it's good for ideas of stuff as well. Okay,
in
so
the meanwhile, you can hop on to cookidoo.com.au and get a free trial. So even if you have got a 6 or a 5, you can still hop on and navigate it and have it play.
That's a great idea, Jo. And so 1 month is free on COOKIDOO, and then after that it's $69 a year. So it's not a big expense, but you can actually even talk to your consultant about getting that discounted as well. So there we go. My broccoli and my carrots and my eschalot are all done. So there we go. I've just popped them in with my pork, and I'm just keeping them warm. Now you might see this oval thermoserver that I'm keeping them warm in, so just remember that for later, because I'll be telling you about that in just a second. Now it tells me to give the bowl a scrape. I've got a little bit of a brown onion in there, but there's nothing really else to scrape there. It's pretty clean and nice, and it tells you do not clean the bowl because we want obviously that flavour in there. And now we're going to pop in our ginger and our garlic. A little bit extra garlic has never hurt anybody. And then we're going to give that a blitz up. So if you're thinking about the power of the Thermomix, that's about 6 cloves of garlic and a big hunk of ginger. I'm doing that for 8 seconds, which is probably even a little bit longer than it really needs. I'll show you what that does. You can kind of hear that it's done when it stops making any noise. I'll show you how that went. And you can imagine how easy it is to chop up a onion or anything like that in the Thermomix too. So there's our, I don't know if you can't really see that. How about the bench camera? Is that working tonight? Oh, there we go. So there you go.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually working really well tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
You never know. It's a bit temperamental, that camera up there. But there you go. So you can see how that has just really chopped that garlic and what else was it? Ginger. Garlic and ginger. Okay, so now I'm scraping down the sides because I want it to be back down the bottom.
Some recipes tell you not to. I don't think they like the ginger on the high heat. It makes it go a bit bitter, I think.
Oh, does it? Sometimes it says to leave it up on the sides, but not tonight,
Yeah,
Jo.
not tonight.
Not tonight.
Because you're adding enough
Oh, well, because we're not going on high heat again now, but because we're just doing the sauce, yeah. Okay, so now I'm popping in my soy sauce.
I love, like about a month or so ago when Sally and I did our recording Pom and the Aussie on a Sunday afternoon. We both did this.
Shameless plug for Pom and the Aussie on a Sunday afternoon. Follow Jo Picton.
Intentional, sorry, it's just coming to my mind. But we were both doing zucchini slice, and Sally did it from the cookbook and I did it from the machine. And it was a classic because I did the machine, I just went next, and put the ingredients in, and then Sally forgot the olive oil, and she took longer, and it was amazing the difference just from going from a recipe book, you know, which is doing, you know, if you're doing traditional cooking, let alone with
absolutely,
you know, the old machine.
I 100% guarantee, I completely agree. There's no way that I would be able to talk like I do, all the way through a recipe if I was reading it off a book.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I think that shows how it, you know, how easy it is to cook in this, because it doesn't matter if you're having a glass of wine with your friends or, you know, yelling at the kids or doing things in between. You don't even have to be focused on the recipe. You know how many times you're like, you know, oh, where am I up to or whatever. It's just so easy, and you don't have to have that mental load of remembering where you're up to or whatever.
Yeah.
So all I've done here, Joe, is I've popped in some soy sauce, some corn flour, some honey, and a bit of water. And that's just going to make our sauce. Okay, so we're just going to give that a 3 minutes.
So it makes me think
Leave your
about
lid on.
another recipe. We do a recipe at Demos, ladies, called Chinese style chicken. And what I like about that is it's layered cooking. It will actually cook the rice and the veggies at the same time.
Yes.
In the sauce, doesn't it, Gemma?
It's great. And I put the Varoma in the basket here because this recipe is so quick and only uses the bowl. But when you get a Thermomix, obviously you get your splash guard, which we have used. But you also get, like what Joe was talking about, with the Varoma, which is our steaming attachment, which can go on top of your Thermomix. And if you've got some boiling water under here or some sauce cooking or something like that, you can be cooking in your Varoma as well. And that recipe in particular that you're talking about, Joe, actually has the simmering basket inside the bowl as well, full of rice. So you're cooking boiled rice as well. So you can really layer it up and be doing, you know, much more than chicken teriyaki for one, which is what we're doing basically for one teenage boy. You know, you can definitely layer that up and cook a lot more food in those layered meals as well. So now, I was talking about host rewards before when I said don't forget about the what I said about the thermoserver. So Wesy, can you just show us? Thank you, darling. You've read my mind. So we love rewarding our hosts and our Thermomix owners for sharing the Thermomix with other people. So just for inviting people along to sessions like tonight, or even inviting them along to watch a recording or anything like that, we love to say thank you to our hosts by getting them a collection of free goodies when their friends decide that it's time to get a Thermomix. So that oval thermoserver is now on our host reward list in either black or silver, so you can have one of each. There's no limit to how many of these you can collect over the time of being a Thermomix owner. Some other good things that have been added are the 1 year COOKIDOO subscription. So I did allude to that before as well. You can get your COOKIDOO subscription for free every year just by hosting a demo and inviting some friends along. So that's a really good one. We've been asking for that one to be added to our host rewards as well. But you know, we've got glider boards, we've got the blade cover, we've got the mats that we've always had in there as well, the kitchen toolkit, which is a real fan favourite. Everybody loves the kitchen toolkit as well. And all you need to do is invite 2 friends. So talk to your consultant about who your 2 friends are, and we can get one of those sorted for you. And if your friends decide it's not time to get a Thermomix yet, you still get a discount. So it's a win-win situation on getting any of those items for a discounted price or free. Rightio. Wes, that's all from me about that. Thank you. Oh, look at the timing. You think I've done that before, wouldn't you? Okay, so our sauce is literally bubbling away there. Wesy, show in there for me, please. Oh, it stopped bubbling, but it was bubbling. It was bubbling when I took the thing off first, okay? And this is just going to get poured over the veggies and the pork. And I'm going to give it a little stir around, and then we're going to be done. So whilst I'm doing that, let me just tell you about the payment options. I'll run through those quickly. Of course, if you want to talk about these with your consultant, we are more than happy to help you with deciding how you're going to pay for a Thermomix, because that's the most important part. If we were giving them away, everybody would have one. So deciding about how you're going to pay for it, and also we can help you look at how you can save money as soon as you get your Thermomix as well. So Wesy, the payment options, please.
This one?
Yes, that's the one. Thank you, darling. Rightio, so 2579, as I said before. Now we've got lots of different options nowadays. There's I feel like we're adding payment options all the time. So there's a way for everybody to get a Thermomix. Now, my favourite way for people to get a Thermomix is to join our team. So that's the next slide across with. So if you think that you could be a Thermomix consultant, let me tell you that now is the best time that I've seen in my 10 years as a Thermomix consultant to join the business and become a Thermomix consultant. So we've got a program called Earn 4, where you only need to sell 4 Thermomixes to get your money back and essentially get yourself a free Thermomix. So it is a really good time to join. So if that interests you, let us know and we can send you a little video about some more information about that. My next favourite is the payment plan, because when I went to buy my first Thermomix, I didn't have a spare $2,000 sitting in the bank. And I had to get mine with a payment option, with a payment plan. So starting tomorrow, I shouldn't say at the moment, so starting tomorrow, 7th of March, we do have 36 months interest free. So you can get your Thermomix for under $20 a week. And like I said before, we can absolutely show you how you can save $20 a week on your groceries when you have a Thermomix. We also have just introduced Hum, which I'm not very familiar with yet, but Hum do up to 24 months interest free. You are able to pay a deposit with them, so it's obviously even less payments because you've paid that deposit and stuff as well. So whatever suits you, Zip Money or Hum, or our Easy 3, which is the next one along Wesy, which is just your own payment plan, a little bit like a take-it-home lay-by, where you pay $1,029 and then next month pay $800, and then the month after you pay another $800 with that one. Any other payment options, Wes? No. Okay, excellent. I didn't think I was forgetting anything. Obviously, in one go, 2579 on your credit card, PayPal, debit card, all of those are options as well. Anyway, I have finished our stir fry tonight in record time. There it is. I don't know if you can. How does that look? Can you see that, Joe?
Yes, it looks delicious.
Looks good, doesn't it? Wesley's chomping at the bit to get himself some chicken teriyaki with pork.
It still looks really crunchy. I love that.
It actually just cooks things to perfection. Like, it's still got that tiny little crunch in there, but it's cooked, you know? And it's still got all its colours. He doesn't like that I've put that back in there after I've taken a bite. Oh well. You can always leave it for me for lunch tomorrow, Wes, which is what my plan was going to be. But anyway, let's say goodbye to our friends on the recording. Please let us know if you've got any questions. We'd love to hear from you.